It's Archangel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Well, it is time for some more practice early in the AMs because that's when I have time and patience to do all of it. And this is as much, excuse me, every day as I can make it. All right, so I figured PCI was yesterday and I had to work, so figured we could take a look at the carnage. Um, between the E-mini S&P and then probably Ethereum just for funsies. And let's see if we could have navigated those treacherous waters after 9:30. All right, that sounds like a good time. Let's get it going. So I'm gonna make myself tiny. All right, so I am going to go ahead and save this guy for it's my normal stuff, and I'm gonna grab like my backtesting window for this purpose. All right, so as always, let's start up on the higher time frames. All right, so we're still aiming in. Let me just make a couple annotations here, just specifying where consequent encroachment is on this wick, on the monthly. And I'm just gonna make a note. That's monthly. And we're slowly heading towards that. So far, we've stopped at exactly the quarter point from that consequent encroachment, which is fascinating concept that I'm slowly learning about. So sometimes when it's not doesn't have a willingness to make it all the way up here, it'll stop a quarter way. Do it. Don't want to sleep, y'all. And then turn around. Um, so interesting. Anyway, so there's that. And so I think 42.64.50 is definitely in the crosshairs eventually. 43.72. Looks like we're just consolidating for the most part. Let's go to the weekly. See what that looks like. All right, so right above here, let's turn that off. I'm trying to train my eyes to look at this. So we have what looks like a volume gap right here. So the low of this candle, I'm looking up here. The low of this candle is 42.66, and the open of this candle is 42.63. So we have something that could draw price up here. It's a bit of a liquidity void where nothing happened in this space. Just pull that this way. And so we have consequent encroachment and we have this liquidity void. Let me just make sure I've got this right. 66 and 63, I do believe. Yeah. Small. It's little but it's talawa, you know? I don't know if you know what that means. You know, for Jamaicans. I just want to make it so hard. Change the color too so it's brighter, so it's obvious. Yeah. And did I set this as a liquidity void? LV, LV. So nothing happened inside of this. And then you would consider also this to be a volume imbalance as well. So that's a full void, and then, you know, so prices will definitely gravitate back up to this general vicinity. Very interesting. Last time we had a scenario like this, see? Well, it's a little different. This is more of just a volume imbalance. They did come up and reprice that quite handily. Here's a true a giant liquidity void right here on the weekly. And they came back up on this first, just wicking it, and then they repriced to it quite handsomely and then made it quite balanced. So there's a volume imbalance there, and of course they took care of that. And liquidity, ooh, another liquidity void right here. Okay, anyway, sorry. Just seeing all the things. All right, let's go to the daily. All right, what are we looking at here? So we had a bit of a volume imbalance right here. They came and took care of that, created a new one here, and then we've been kind of trading inside of it for a bit. Fair value gap, they've taken care of all of that. All right, so this is Tuesday, so I'm just gonna hit the replay button back to that. And let's drop down to say like 4 hour, and I'm gonna do a couple of things. One, I want to see where we started the day. Let's do 1 hour. Let's see where we started the day. Right there at midnight. So let's see, so there's that. And opening price is up here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Approximation's okay. This water. Just my laptop today, y'all. All right, hold on. Can I take that off where it shows the symbol? Let's take the last price line out. It's kind of annoying. I can see what it is. Thanks. I want to take the symbol body off. Like this thing right here. I don't know how to. No, that's titles. Need that. Need that. Just leave the ticker. That's fine. There you are. Symbol name. Okay. Okay. It's always so distracting to me. All right. So we want to understand what's going on in all of this insanity. So we opened up right here, and I am going to chop price back to, because this is whipsawing all over the place, to about there. Okay, we're gonna drop down to 15-minute time frame. Oh my God. So this is the kind of day that this is what, 8:30? So where is 8:30 open? It's right there. Like, could we have tried to trade this? So that's the 8:30. So we were just kind of meandering about. We dropped below midnight, which is the lower of the two. And then we did all this whipsawing. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but there's like nothing in here that's telling me I need to be doing something, right? Let's see. We had sell side right here. Sell side. And I really need to change this to say below text on the bottom. Copy that. Suggest this drives me nuts. Adjust the temp. Oops. Save as. Oh. Control Z. Fix that. Sorry about that, guys. I'm being a little picky, I can tell. This will overwrite what I have already. Perfect. So I had sell side here. So something, what else did we have? We had this fair value gap right here. Let's draw that out in time. We've traded back into it. FEG, and then fun fact, right? We have another small one down here in between that, and a bigger one down here to be aware of, and slowly learning about previous days highs and closes and all of that. So let's switch this to regular trading hours and let's take a look at the previous day's close, like that gap area. Oh, did it just reveal everything? Why does it do that? It's so annoying. Anyway, so this is for, so the gap between the previous day's open and close. Let's just note that. And let's go back down to our 5 minute. And what the Monday 4:10, Tuesday 9:30. Sigh. Didn't I specify that I wanted it to stay? Oh, it's this thing, isn't it? Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to back up a bit. Sorry about this. Still don't know if I'd know how to do this anyway. So we were here. Okay, approximately. And what was this again? The gap. So the Sunday gap. So when I change this, it just puts everything back. That's annoying. So actually the gap from Monday to Tuesday is actually this big thing right here, which seems like they were between the opening price. And there's a smaller one here for last Friday's gap. So I'm just specifying the new day opening gaps. Let's give those different colors. And it's going to be a lot of cheating, but we are backtesting. So that's right. So per the regular trading hours drama, this is what the new day opening gap looks like. So at minimum, expect it to trade back into that. What is that? The open of this candle. Oh man, 41, 48, 75. And actually the close of this candle, 41, 50 and a quarter would be a nice target. I think ICT was talking about that yesterday. And the open of this candle is 41, 31, 50. So just have that as a reference. Can I please backtrack now? Where is 8:30? Oh, hold on. Sorry. I need to switch it back to electronic trading hours to even be able to do it. Oh my god, guys. This is crazy. The way it adjusts itself is out of control. Where's 8:30? Okay. All right. So CPI came out, and pre-CPI we had this wicking down back into midnight, which is just mean and just unusual BS right there. And I'm sure we had like a beautiful daily thing, but let's say I didn't know any of that crap, right? So best to wait for CPI to come out 8:30, then wait for what happens at 9:30, and then we can just watch the carnage. Just drop down to 1 minute and just kind of like talk through this insanity, right? So we were just kind of boring, waiting for the news right there. And then there's always like a moment of annoyance, just, and then the news came out. It's like they knew, right? Like, oh, yeah, it's gonna be. Actually, I don't even know what it was. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, it was the same. The CPI month over month, the core CPI, yeah. No wonder it didn't go anywhere. No wonder it didn't go anywhere. So then it dropped into this fair value gap, which super close to sell side, which they did not take. So I feel like probably will. And then if I was being good, so if I was being super interested in stuff, we've got buy side here. So let's just annotate those like we would have. So we had buy side right there. And then let's just clone that. We also had buy side right there. Not to mention, we've got this rejection wick right here. So let's specify consequent encroachment of that wick. Let's go right there. And let's plop that in there. And now that we know that, I'm still marveling at how beautifully that came into consequent encroachment of consequent encroachment. So cool. Anyway, did they take out? Nope. Okay. All right. So we had buy side here, and then the final coup de grace, as far as I'm concerned, up here. There's more here and here, but let's focus on what's available right now. So we had all of these potentials, and we wicked through consequent encroachment, almost took out the whole thing, and never quite took out this wick. So that feels like a failed. It's still respecting this rejection block. So, all right, let's get down to the 1 minute. All right. So we did this, created a new rejection wick, and we seem to be pulling back away from that. Now, when I'm thinking for myself, when I'm trading, I'm looking for something, you know? So if I think I'm gonna go long, like I'm looking for something like this, this continuation, right? That way I know we have a shift, some kind of displacement, and I can get in for a trade for a long, right? Or if that's not the way it wants to play out, right? Then I'm looking for this with a shift to continue. Again, this is like a turtle soup, right? It was already going down. It couldn't make it. It created a nice shift and then gave me another opportunity to go long. I don't know about you, but I don't see anything that even looks remotely like either of those scenarios. So, nothing to do, right? And same scenario if I'm going short, right? So, I'm going long, life is like a box of chocolates. Oh no! And then, do I see a shift here? Does it give me something? Something up here? No? Oh, okay. And then my other option is do 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 do. Oh look, we didn't go any higher. Oh look, shift opportunity. Do I see any of that? No. So what do? Nothing. All right. So what have we done? We've just whipsawed up and down. That's it. That's it. We've taken consequent encroachment up there. We still haven't taken out this high, so we're just meandering about back to opening price at midnight. Okay. So this is the opening gap for the last day, from the last day. So, and they've already traded into it entirely. So I just have this on here to note where it is. And then there's also the consideration that, you know, this is like the midpoint of it, approximately. I'm gonna come back into it. Well, what time is it? 8:40, so we still have a lot to work with. Okay. So we've hit the midpoint of the gap. And we're just kind of hanging out. Still nothing for me to do. I see where they say trading this is like a freaking, it's all about luck at this point. Right, we're just playing around midpoint of that, thinking about ourselves. All right, so on a normal day, right, we've hit constant encouragement, we've taken out buy side all the way over here. Then I would wait for a displacement. Did I get one? No, no. There's a small little imbalance right here, fair value gap. That is the wrong thing, right? That's up here. And do we have a little volume imbalance right there? Let's zoom in, try and train our eyes. This one's not really about trying to trade. It's more about, can I see all the things, right? So we have a tiny, what's the close of this? 41.50.75. And the open of this is 41.51.25. 41.50. Yeah, so there's a tiny, tiny volume imbalance right in here, which they've closed in and normalized or made fair, but they're coming back up into it here. So let's continue. And of course, fair value gap here. There's one up here too. These things are all over the place. So guess what? They haven't taken this sell side that built under here, and they've gone back up. No shift. Maybe we could find 5 handles in the soup of awesomeness. So they're in this guy. Well, we have this short-term high that was taken. A little bit of a mini shift there, but this is ahead of 9:30 and just on a CPI day. There's nothing to do right there. Right, we're in midpoint of the previous new day opening gap. So, okay. So are we tapping into this fair value gap up here? Probably. I'm going to turn you into resistance. So equal highs here. I want to come for it, but on a normal day, it's hard to tell. On a day like this, though. So we're still waiting. It's 8:53. Okay. Just meandering around midnight open. Bouncing between the 8:30 open and the midnight open. Interesting. Fair value gap might turn into resistance here. And just meandering about the new day open back into midnight. Well, on a normal day, they took this out technically, came back into this order block. We're at midnight's price. So let's say I was cray, which I am only sometimes. And I took this with my stop loss just below that order block. Well, just below midnight's opening price. Oops, wrong one. My bad. Let's take a long position. Let's say we did that. We're insane in the membrane. Insane in the burn, And let's say I did that right there. And put my stop loss just below midnight. Because I don't trust anything. It's got to be the smallest stop loss ever. Now, I don't know why it's always so very... It cannot be 20. I guess it could. Let's zoom in on that puppy. It is 20 handles. So yeah, so let's say all of that happened. Let's say I want to, but it's all soup, right? What would my entry even be in this soupy soup? There's just wick down here to worry about too. About eyeball midpoints about there. Let's say I wanted to go up, but that would be stupid, right? Because we've made a lower high from this guy, and we haven't shown any desire to go back up. So why would I be going long? See? So I need to think through this stuff. Get past the drama. If this is turning into support, I should be going short. What do you think, right? Now, what I do have for short is a shift right here. But we have this guy. So what if I were to be like, what if my scenario was to go short from here, put that over there. So I feel like it's not going over it again. And just trying to grab, since we're bouncing in between the midnight price, do we get that? Okay. Just like a 5 handle, right? Now, if I thought about it here, and my eyes are probably not seeing everything. We did have a fair value gap right there. Little guy. Order block. But I'm thinking they'll tap this, so let's say I'm wrong. And my order should have been right there, actually the body of this candle, right? So I would have gotten an order right there. And I would just want five handles. This is 38 actually, but they've shown a very serious, distinct willingness to tap into the midnight opening price. So I could just, aim for the midnight opening price. And with this entry, I would have gotten 37 ticks. And then my stop loss would have had to be above the fair value gap. And that would have worked nicely. Just for a quick in and out scalp before 9 o'clock. Interesting. All right. So considering all of that, let's continue. Alrighty. So we've got sell side here. These two, of course. Turning around, we're at the consequent encroachment of the previous day's opening gap. They like to hang out in here. They've mostly filled it in one go. How fascinating. Right? Choppy. Okay, anything juicy? No? Let's see. So look at all that nice juiciness. That looks terribly hard. All the up close candles are keeping these guys in check. These guys specifically for coming back down. And I'm just, thinking to myself, like, look at all this non-chop. There's nothing to do here. Drama. First sign of something taken. Retrace back into fair value gap for an entry. And once that happened, I would just wait for my own displacement right here. Trade it back up into the fair value gap. Wouldn't have gotten it there. Would have gotten it there. Would have. Ooh, hold on. What's the high of this candle? 4155.25. And the high of this candle is 4155.25. Can you believe it? So we could have gotten an entry like spot on, perfect, right there, the top of that thing. Not to mention, it was also at the beginning of this little fair value gap right here after the displacement. Perfect. Perfecto. Nice. Anyway, so let's just continue our analysis of the CPI drama. Okay, so we've seen insanity at 8:30. So Now we're just gonna, we've just traveled back down to this fair value gap, and the base of the previous day's opening. Look at it. And now we're just consolidating around that spot. Okay. Still inside of that gap. Okay, what time is it? 9:23, a couple minutes. And now we're tapping into, what is this? Sell side liquidity that hadn't been taken in this first go. Okay. We're just hanging out at the base of this. Probably gonna just gathering additional orders. Maybe at 9:30 since it wicked down. Maybe it'll wick down in here and tap that. I don't know. Just because I've seen it, the general field of it, like if I was trading it, no idea. Just know that we're meandering at the base of this and we've already fallen. So, alright, sell side taken. There, okay, so 9:30. So, alright, yep. Are we coming down into this guy? Yes. Nice. Like this initial drop gave us a little bit of what to expect, and then they chose to remain below the 8:30 opening, and then they gave us a bit of a shift for potential entry right here and continue on down. So 9:30's happened. All right. So we have another previous days week's days opening. Okay, so we've taken this and now we're consolidating. All right. Now, see if it gives me some sort of indication as to what it wants to do now. So, now we do have, a very strong willingness to hang out in this general vicinity. So this could be a nice little target for it to go along with the sell side here as well. So, and midnight opening prices. Well, I don't know, just thinking. So I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those scenarios where we drop to come back up, we take it out and go. Let's see. Do we get something like that? Or the opposite where we get the failure swing? Let's see. Okay, we're just coming back up into this guy. Does it turn into resistance? This is pretty clean, so I feel like they're going to want to take that relatively quickly here. It's also balanced. Okay, there it goes, taken. Now, in terms of all of this, like the only shifted area was this candle right here. But it hasn't left us any kind of fair value gap or anything, so I still have nothing to do, you know? Okay. Now we're just piling back up. Now we have a shift with a proper one, like this one right here is a nicer shift. There's this order block right here. And we have a fair value gap right there, finally. Let's see. Will that be enough? Let's this way. Let's give it a different color. It's like a light shade. So we still haven't gotten anything juicy. These order blocks right here. It's still very choppy. What might target even be at this point? This guy and actually this. So this is a good time for me to drop the Fibby. Let's put it right there. All right. So if my target's here, then I want, so that can't be right because this is my target, that's below it, so it has to be this guy. All right, so let's say I do get a long position in. My target's going to be 41.74.50. Let's Let's see if we even get that. So the fair value gap, let's see if I can get an entry at the base of it to go to 41.7450. Stop loss below this guy, which is 13. All right, let's see. Do we get that? So now we're at the midnight opening price again. If we're going long, we need to get something below it. Okay, coming into this fair value gap. Right there. And okay, we're thinking about it. We haven't done anything. There's one here as well. Is that the one they're choosing to stick with? In which case my order should be here, but let's see. Okay. All right, so I might need to adjust a bit. Let's see, could I feel comfortable? Fair value gap here, order block. There's this guy, and then there's also this fair value gap right there. Finding, so I assume this is going to be called a breakaway gap at this point. So let's just put that. Let's just call it a gap bag. Bag. Okay, and then this fair value gap right here seems to be the one they want to hang out at. So my question is this, right? They want to go higher. Will they stop at this order block with the fair? Will they tap this again, or just tap this and go? Let's see. I might not get a trade at all. Meandered. This order, nothing. Looks like it's just. If it takes this out, then I'm definitely bullish. Okay, 41.64. We're gonna do it. Let's see. So we're thinking about it. Let me draw this out in time and see. So they hung out here. Used it as support. Gathering up some more orders. Back at the 8:30 opening price. Tiny FVG right there. Well, let's see if they did take that. Okay, come back into this fair value gap, trying to close that out. Okay, so it did take that, so I'm feeling bullish on this moment, but I think my moment's passed. I did not get I wanted the order down here, but then I didn't recognize this as a breakaway gap and recognize that too late, in which case, if I had seen it, then I would have gone with something like this, small stop loss, and my target would still be that guy. So just for funsies, let's see what that would look like. Okay, coming back down to here. Can I get 5 handles? Can I get 5 handles from an entry here to here? Oops, not that one. Let's do 20. Okay, that's pretty tiny, right? So that's 5 handles. So if I were from here, 41.59 to 541.64, yeah, that would be 5 handles. We would be aiming for this guy, but let's see. And would we be stopped out? So we're at this guy. Still trying to figure out like the best order block. So we're turning this into support now. Looks like it. I mean, resistance. Okay. So I wouldn't have just taken that blind. I need to see something, but come back in here. This order block coming back down. Ooh. Time is it? 10:28. Okay. Okay. Coming back down. We have a shift here. Didn't give us any kind of opportunity. Well, I'm wrong. It sure as crap did. So took this out right here, then traded back up into a tiny fair value gap, but it just traded back up into the order block really, and then dropped to take out this tiny guy, coming into this guy. There's one down here. Are we just riding back into, oops. Okay, go away for a second. We're riding back into yeah, they're coming back into this thing. So the fact that they turned around here doesn't make me feel super good about them getting all the way up here, but let's see. Tap this again. This is a shift here as well, so potential for another entry. So what do we have? We have fair value gap right there. They've tapped into that just smidge. The order block. Would I get an entry from about there? Let's see. Probably be stopped out, but maybe not. Maybe this would be amazing. 14 tick, 12 tick stop. And let's be conservative and aim for this fair value gap right there. Right there. All right. What do we see? I need to see it turn around or do something for that entry, which it didn't do. Choppy, choppy, choppy. It's coming to this guy. So this one wasn't strong enough. Are we coming for the bag? I don't want to, we're continuing on up. I don't want to touch that. It doesn't feel like we are. So yeah. Yeah. So come back into this guy. This is all chop, chop, chop. Okay. What time is this? 10:35, 10:39. So my window of opportunity has pretty much gone the way of the dodo for the most part here. So I wouldn't have gotten any kind of a trade today, at least not in this session. Let's see. Yeah, we're about 43 minutes in. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten anything here. I mean, based on what I estimated, right, that I was looking for, the only place where I sort of got anything remotely close, and it didn't really fit the mold, right? This guy right here. Because you're supposed to be, from coming down, it's supposed to be doing this, do. It didn't take that out, right? It did this, which in my experience should take you in the opposite direction, right? Which it didn't, right? So instead, I had to look at this guy. That didn't get taken, doesn't make sense to me. We did have this form. So, I mean, on a day like this, 20 handles, small, super small chop stuff would be what I would be going for, because otherwise this is crazy, man. Like like for example, if I did this tiny stop loss and then maybe aim for the base of this guy, and we would have gotten that. But look how much work it would have taken to get that. Look how much work. It's not worth it. Alright guys, it's about 7. I am going to do some core content stuff now, and that'll be the next stage of my morning process. It's workout first, do my affirmations in the middle of all of that. Eat. Sorry, still yawning. Eat maybe, and then it's Wednesday. Oh man. Sorry. Sorry you guys have to have a dream and I can't sleep through it. I gotta lean into it, you know? Gotta lean into it. So CPA would have been a nightmare for me to try and trade. So I wouldn't have. I'd probably skip the day, relax myself, go and eat some yummy food and come back. All right, guys. Happy hunting. Be safe. I hope you're learning. Um, I hope your learning experience, your journey is going really freaking amazing. Okay. Mine is definitely coming along nicely. I have a lot of things, a lot of notes to go over and internalize and practice. So it's going to take me a while. It's probably going to take me this whole year to get to that amazing space so I know I can make that money. You know what I mean? So I know it's not even really about the money anymore. It's about the process. If my process is rock solid and I follow it with complete, hold on, and I follow it with complete discipline, then I know I'm going to be great. But before that can happen, I got to figure out what the heck I'm doing with myself. And what that process is going to actually look like and what's comfortable for me. So it's already February. I got 10 more months to work this out. It might even take that long. Who knows? But I'm going to fund myself as much as I can and see if I can turn my little tiny bit of money into something worthwhile and then turn that something worthwhile into something amazing. That's the plan. Without losing my shirt. I don't plan to get liquidated because I plan to know what my risk management and my risk tolerance is. I plan to do this with a proper process and not just half-ass it. So, with that said, I bid you a beautiful Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed your Valentine's yesterday, whatever those were. And be safe. Shakira out.